Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. We talked last week about looking at the data and really finding sources and being able to share information and then drilling down on that information to see how that information impacts our local markets. And in an effort to do that, a lot of you have gone out and found a variety of places to go find information. And I think it's important that you do that research and you see what people are saying and how they're saying it. And more importantly, I think it's incredibly critical to the situation to make sure that you're drilling down to see how the national news and information actually impacts your local market. And some of you have done that in the past week, and I've received a lot of nice comments and some responses from people who've come to realize that there are a lot of people who are saying a lot of things that they have no basis of fact for them to say them. And I think the importance of following the data and understanding that the mainstream media and the social media gurus and all those people who are trying to generate income from, making you click onto a story or watch a video because they've posted a headline that's somewhat startling, really is leading to the fact that people are looking for places to find out the truth and find out the facts and being able to disseminate that information back to their circle, their sphere of influence, their friends, their relatives, their referral partners, their past clients. So I think that's great. And I think what you've come to find out and what a lot of people have shared with me back, and the data again this week proves it. And again, I apologize to all of you who are watching this who get upset that the facts that I share here get in the way of your fiction. I've also gotten comments from people out there who, I guess get a little bit testy when they post stuff on social media and get challenged by the fact that they are spewing information that's either not exactly true or completely false, or their interpretation of the information is exactly opposite of what the reality of it is. And again, this week we deal with, people talking about housing bubble and the foreclosure wave due to the pandemic, and the fact that higher rates are now stopping purchases and first-time home buyers can no longer afford houses and blah, 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 blah. It just never seems to stop. And yet here we are in a spot that, hey, you know what? Home resales, a number that I like to pay attention to, is certainly down 18% over last year. That's a fact. And last year was a record-breaking year, best year in 15, 16, 18 years. So resale volume was down 18% year over year. But you know what? The rate that we're at right now for resales is right in line exactly where the resale market was prior to coronavirus. So before the pandemic, we would have been in a resale market that was absolutely, positively, completely average, completely normal, completely where we had been. The fact that people were screaming about, oh my God, foreclosures, 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 and we had the forbearance, and since the forbearance, the people were going to come back, and there was going to be a foreclosure wave. And here we are. We sit in an environment where foreclosures are less than 1% of all the transactions that are being done. So not exactly sure what happened to that foreclosure wave. Well, I know what happened to that foreclosure wave. People repaid the missed payments or renegotiated the forbearance payments, or they refinanced their houses and paid what they owed, or they sold their houses and moved on, either with their lives or to another house. So again, just another thing that people want to jump up and down and yell and scream about that is virtually non-existent. And you know what? We're dealing with that. And the other part is guys, we're talking about first-time home buyers, and the first-time home buyer is, being priced out of the market. Well, first-time home buyers were 30% of all transactions last month. 30% of the market was first-time home buyers. And so when you're looking at this and you're saying, I don't get it. If a third of the total transactions were being done by people, it was the first time buying a house. How are they being eliminated from the market? Yes, payments are higher, but yep, so are rents. So's their income. So is the price of gas. So is the price of their cars. So is the price of their cell phone. All these things have gotten higher. Doesn't stop people from actually doing it. And for those realtors, I just put, hey, got to get through this without touching the realtors. So here we are. For all you realtors who are yelling and screaming and carrying on and throwing yourselves on the floor because of a lack of inventory and you couldn't sell houses, well, inventory is up more than 2% year over year. So I'm not exactly sure how, okay, we got inventory. By the way, just FYI, inventory's gone up as at the same time we are on a record pace for selling houses in the time the house is listed to the time the house is under contract. Okay, all-time record of 14 days on the market, 14 days. So houses are coming on the market, they're being put under contract in 14 days. Inventory's up 2%. Doesn't sound like a bubble to me. It sounds like, pretty healthy market. It sounds like there's more demand than there is supply, which is why we're seeing home prices. Oh, by the housing bubble, I'm not seeing prices go down. Now, are appreciation rates rising as fast this year as they were last year? No. In some markets, are appreciation going down lower? Yeah. What you're seeing largely in here, which is making people knee-jerk react, is quite simply, people are not coming out onto the market with their houses $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 over what the house would possibly sell for. And we see it. There are people in this marketplace, in my market, your market. Yes, the housing market's been really good. And the seller wants to put a number out there, or the realtor just shoots for the sky and puts a number on a house. And guess what? The market tells you very quickly that you're priced incorrectly. Houses that are priced correctly are disappearing. That's how we end up with 14 days on 14 days. That's incredible. The pace of which houses are selling, coming on the market and being deemed to be worth people putting them under contract, that's pretty impressive. So again, the markets, they remain volatile. And, again, we get back to the fact, if you like your payment, lock in that payment. If your borrower is at a risk, what happens if the market goes higher? Now, again, rates, while they've been volatile, they've stayed in a pretty simple, track here. That volatility has been back and forth about the same 100 or so basis points up and down. But the reality of it is next week we're going to deal with a Fed meeting, and as much as I'd like to believe that the Fed has finally gotten itself on track and is going to do the right thing, I wish they'd go 100 at this meeting and 100 in September to show the market that they're serious about this. I don't believe that there is the wherewithal or the guts or the determination. I think they'll go 75. Again, I wanted them to go 100 last time. I wanted them to go 100 this time. Hey, 75 last time and 75 this time is certainly better than killing us with death by 1,050 basis point rate hikes. So it is what it is. Pay attention to the Fed meetings next week. Pay attention to the data as it comes out and make your own interpretation. Find the group of people, the sphere of influence that you like to talk to about what's going on and how it affects your marketplace. Because I'm telling you, for the loan officers out there who are actually engaging the community and talking to people, they're finding out that there are people who are very interested in the information. There are people who are very interested in talking about this information. And there's also a lot of people out there who don't have the slightest idea of what the hell they're talking about. So again, I don't, I'm sorry if my facts get in the way of your fiction. It's a very real thing in today's day and age with social media and, all the hype and drama that goes on in this world. There are a lot of people. The housing market, the mortgage market's no different. So you've got to understand what the information truly is, and you've got to understand the impact on your local markets. As always, I welcome your questions and comments. Mike at imtcoaching.com. We'll talk to you again next week. Take care.